Hello folks, Wobru here. Some standard action fury this time around. On the left side of the screen, that's red green energy, aggro, with a tiny wee bit blue splash for sideboard negate, for example. And on the right, that will be Esper control, my basically default deck for Grand Prix in Amsterdam at the beginning of June. So what I want to say is that the red green energy aggro is definitely very potent, but maybe not exactly in this shape or form. And perhaps you want to be actually on chance, splashing, disintegration, having fatal push, having hard curing like for the better beatdowns. But there was one in the top 8 of GP Santiago, I think, in chill. So that was pretty much just regular energy aggro, but it was kind of more mid-range than this build. This build is just centered again around Pummeler, so you'd see some of that action going on here. It's kind of a more of a all-in deck. Well, not necessarily, but it's much more focused. While the red green that was featured at that Grand Prix was I was trying to play a grindy game as well. Just being able to. Just a sideboard plastic tier next to the life pads. Yeah, let's see. So far in team testing and then with FNMs and game days and such, so Esper wasn't really performing all that well, but the games I've been losing were very close, and I just needed to draw the right sequence. But this is what the deck is about. But the point is that I'd rather be on that side rather than, playing a bunch of mirror matches and hoping I get there and hope to draw a little bit better. So this Esper control is kind of a hater deck. It's supposed to have a pretty decent Marvel matchup and also supposed to eat the aggro decks. But it could be very clunky at times, so some draws could be quite awkward, but just love playing the deck. That's why I don't think I'll give up on it easily if I'll have to change. Tune the effort on turn 2 is much worse than on turn 1, because that means he won't have an aggressive 2-drop coming down this turn. And the more time I get, the better my game with the Esper control gets, because I have answers basically to everything, but I might not draw them in the right order, and I do have enough of pro draw in this deck, and pretty decent win conditions too. So there are like 2 Hogs, 2 Gideons, 2 Saurians, 3 Shambling Vans. What else? Well, you can Delirium up the Descent upon the Sinful, so you can get a 4th range, a lot of that. Overall, I think enough win conditions, because all it takes is just, to keep one of them around. Yeah, just evolving wild and passing. Okay, he had a turn 3 cop, but that's really not that threatening, and probably not gonna be fast enough, but we'll see. If I just don't hit lens 5 to 6, then yeah, we could have a game here. We could have a game. Well, auto healing is a bit annoying, so I can't censor that. I can in theory counter that. I think one of the counters in my hand at that moment was just a negate. Because of the tapped ruling mouse, I couldn't cast the Gideon on curve, That would have been useful. Probably jumping on Helion and down taking the Gideon. Grabbing an island, because I don't really have double black cost in this deck. That's one of the features of the deck when I built it, is that you're just splashing back. At the core you're just blue-white control. You have to basically cycle pull here for one. That's not good. Taking in a bunch of damage here as well, so discarded negate, which might have been a mistake here this game, because he does have a few pump spells. Another wild. Now I can play Gideon, but it's much worse this turn actually. It's much worse. And if he has a pump or removal, I'm in pretty bad shape. But if he doesn't, then I'm actually alright. There's only one basic swamp in the deck, so and I don't really need another island, so I opted to grab the swamp. You need the wilds in this deck because of Delirium, because of the Revolt and Fatal Push, and just this way you can actually run decent amount of basics and you know, have a relatively smooth meta base, but with a cost. He goes for that spell that can basically give 2 creatures +2/+0 and Fast Strike, I think, or Trample. 6. Yeah, that's actually lethal. As fun as it is, because he can use foreign energy to put 2 counters on the cup, and that will be exact 14. Because with that pump spell, that's 10, and then 2 counters on the cup, and that's lethal. Well, oh, sorry, it's not lethal. Well, he's presenting lethal, but with the champ, I get down to 2 life. He actually decides to kill off Gideon because he probably doesn't want to deal with that next turn. But that's just 1/2 token basically, so maybe he should have attacked face with all the force. I think that would have been more correct. He gets some energy back though. Okay, here's a descent without Delirium, sadly. But it removes both rats off the board. At the list, I think it was just Planeswalker instant land. So it was very close to actually getting a 4/4 here. Now here's the problem. I kind of want to answer that Pummeler or do something about it. He's at 5 energy, so he can pump it only once. So tapping out for Soaring and probably using it for 2. Here's a Blossom in defense to keep around the Pummeler. And now this is basically like a roller coaster. I don't gain life because of defense, so that's pretty awkward. I was kind of counting on that as well. I was sort of counting on that. Here's double pump. It gets to 9 power, then double, so attack for 18 basically with trample. Because why not? Oh, why not? Yeah, my draws were kind of awkward, but this deck is designed to actually fight zombies and Marvel, basically, and to a lesser extent blue-red control, for example. So yeah, I'll take it. He got the nuts there. He got the nuts. I wish I would have had like Delirium together for token there. Would have been pretty useful, I should say. And yeah, not drawing spot removal is kind of annoying, but what can you do? So sideboarding here. Flying Tendrils is interesting, but he has a lot of PAMs, and the 2-power guys, I mean the 2000 guys get, you know, pumped with energy, so I don't know, but I could force him to use that up, so maybe like one of those. Kalatas is like good because of life gain, Angel Sanctions well. To stall again, Blind Valley is good to stall, third unmaking, to force the issue. Everything else is just not that amazing. So I have 2 sideboard negates and 2 main negates. No disallows or shatters. I'm taking out the pull because it's a bit too slow for this matchup. Elimination is better because you can always cycle it for 1 mana. So the issue of negates is pretty damn tricky. He has pump spells, he has defense, he has some spot removal that might be, some of that might still be in, and then he's probably gonna board the negates. But I would much rather just to have solid answers. So because I'm bringing up setting in so many answers, I'm taking out the elimination as well. I have 4 Fatal Push main, 2 Declaration Stone, 4 Sweepers, now 3 Unmakings, 2 Cast Out, 2 Essence Scatters. This build even has 2 Horribly Ori, or whatever the spelling in there is, which should be out. Because with those I'm getting over 60 cards, and I do want to play 26 lands in this deck, just because you always want to hit land drops. And in the main you have those 2 pulls, 2 eliminations, and 2 Gearhawks, so yeah, hitting land drops is pretty nice. Plus I have the Descent, I have this Soaring, so I have like some 6 drops I want to be consistently able to cast. So yeah, probably moving on, cutting the Ori from the deck, so that I don't have to even consider like play more than 60 main deck. Right. Here's the game change showing Forest. He doesn't have 1 drop, so I'm kinda like wary about doing stuff like that. I guess because he's gonna lay it down anyway, it's okay to show it, but I just don't like to give extra information for no reason. So every of the conduct is kinda nice here. Goes underneath my curve basically, because we were taking turns in terms of who starts and so on. I'm gonna push it now because if I wait, well, I could do this in upkeep, but then he could get the blossoming defense up, things like that, so don't wanna get trapped like that. So that's why I pushed it right away. Here's the healing, so he goes up to 5, but at the end he'll go back down to 3 energy. This is annoying, but it might wear off eventually. But yeah, could be problematic at times. Here's a tapped land, but a lot of answers in my deck cost 2, so that's a thing. Although there is a making. Seems like I'll be forced sort of to take another 4 here. But I'm taking actually more than 4. He kinda should have waited if he had anything. So so me just going for the life pad gave it away that I, don't have answers right away. So he pumped his guy for +4. Had to cycle sensor here in the search for answers. Another evolving wilds. I have 3 ups, so I can potentially go for unmaking. Yeah, so my friend whose deck that is, I mean the red-green MtG, might be watching this later on, and it will be kind of obvious for him. I hope what cuts I would, increase the numbers in the deck. So he really liked the Rampage, the one that you can split and give the creatures +2 for attack and trample, I think. But the deck wants more blossoming defense, and I think in this version, which is kind of all in you want, all 4 Helian's main deck, you have so many pumps and stuff, it's just good enough, I think. And so many energy producers. And your 4 defense will be just amazing here. I took 4, and then I took out negates. All of my stuff here is just up against actual creatures in combat and so on. Show him Ori, which I wish would have been negated at this point. So he attacked and then flanked. Could see actually, if there's only 1 flank in the deck, there should be probably more. I have a feeling there's a 2nd flank somewhere in the deck. Can be pretty spicy. Especially in the kind of like longer game against control and mid-range attacks, when you have negate up because of the hubs, and you can always attune and grab that basic island out of your deck. Yeah, I could even see a 4th negate in the sideboard actually. Helps against all those marvels and stuff. And yeah, there should be like deliverance in the deck, but it's a budget deck for FNMs and such, so he asked around for those, but yeah, if he had time to play with the deck at FNM, he would probably find them. But yeah, if you're playing green, you probably can't leave home without deliverance in your deck somewhere. That's for sure. I don't think they'll ban Marvel in the near future, so counter spells and art haze probably something you have to keep around and add to your deck if you can with your colors. So yeah, now we're game 3. So lost the one before sideboard, lost the one after sideboard. Awkward draws, pretty good draws from energy. Nothing that insane though, but yeah, but just good rips all around. I think that's the last game for this tape. Tipped stream, so kept one previous stream in the deck. You do want a lot of blue-white duels, but you don't wanna too many of those. I think that's the only duel in the deck that actually wants you to have 2 basics. Because of fast lands and stuff like that, I really didn't feel like playing a bunch of those. But it has basic land types, so it's good with those reveal lands. because I think there are like, well, 2 port towns and 2 estuaries, so 4 reveal lands. And then it's nice that the cycling lands can be revealed with those for those 2. Cub gets censored, which is a good catch, I guess. Which is a good catch. Here's a cub suggested. It enters. He doesn't get more energy though. He's still gonna be at 2. I'm gonna push the cub end of turn. Just passing the turn. Well, he's at 3 energy thanks to the Aver hub. Here's a Voltaic Brawler. More energy. End of turn, attempting to unmake it. That goes through. Cycling sensor to hit the lands, it seems. Not hitting them. He's at 5. He's at 6 now, so yeah. And he's up to 5, so it's the Glorybringer mana, but there are none in the deck. But there is a Pummeler in the deck though, which I now try to counter with the Ori, but he has a negate for that. He's at 5 energy, so yeah, some pumps. Plus that, and that could be it. I'm really getting kind of like lens screwed here. Hitting my 4th, so Wild's there. Probably fetching planes, I guess. But the problem is that if he has another negate, or really just a lot of pump spells, it's kinda dangerous. That might be dangerous. See, it's just attacking. So, no blocks. Pressing priority, I suppose. Well, okay. I guess fetching in the meantime. Now I guess pressing priority. You could just say just take 1, I suppose. Well, if he has a negate up, then maybe he could try to move in with some pump spell. Oh, okay. I'm just cycling a cast out here. Taking 1. I mean, I could have, tried to use the cast out next turn, but I'm more concerned hitting the lands, because I think I had some sweepers in my hand at that point. And that'll be like really good in the if he doesn't have negate, because that plays around Blossoming Defense at least, and it could nuke away both pummelers away. So yeah, cast out would have been that good here. He's at 8 energy. This is really scary. This is really scary. Hitting up land number 5, but it's a tapped one. So that's a bit annoying. Oh, I think at this game I just had the 6 mana super actually. The Descent in my hand. On the one hand, it looks like it's a bit overdoing on the tapped lands, but you don't have that many cheap drops, and then you can sometimes take some damage in and then draft the board. So taking only 2 from these pummelers. Here's a cub. I think he was just sitting on negate and like waiting for me to cast a sweeper. That's basically what it is, I think. I don't remember this game exactly, but I think that might be what was up in the story here for me. Just passing the turn. Apparently I didn't hit land number 6, which I really wanted to. Yeah, Fumigate would have been excellent here, obviously. The reason to play Descent in the first place is because of all the zombies and because it does exile Willamog, for example. And, you know, getting a 4-4 out of the deal is not that bad either. So he's attempting the plus 4-4 and trample. I negate that. So I actually went smart mode, and after game 2 I brought some of those back in. I don't remember what I took out for that. Well, attempting on making on the cup for some reason. Because that's cheaper to really make gigantic at this stage of the game. But yeah, let's see. If he has defense, that's pretty annoying. Okay, defense on the pummeler, and what is that lethal? Goes to 3, uses up 8 or whatever, double pump, or was it like 3 pumps? I lost 3 from the unmaking. Then that's like, how much energy did he have? Did he have actually 3 activations up? Hey, he even had a negate in the end. So I got to 11 from the unmaking. Pummeler, like that's 10. I know 6. 2 activations, that's 6 to 12. Yeah, he needed just the 2 activations of it. Yeah, sitting with a Hulk and double Descent in my hand, so needed to draw the 6th land, but he had a negate anyway. So that was kind of like interesting. So yeah, moving on. I think this red-green energy deck could afford to play in 4th negate. I would play for Blossom in defense also. Maybe cut on some of the pumps. Try out 4 main deck Helion, I think. Just move around the pumps. Maybe cut on some threats. So he cut the 2 flanks and 2 harness lightning. So yeah, because he doesn't need the harness that much, and flank is just tricky in the face of all the counters and mass removal and instant spot removals as well. Don't remember what I changed to slice in the 2 negates back into the deck. But yeah, didn't see Declaration would have been good. Didn't see Fatal Pushes. Negates, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to actually, you know, keep 2 negates in. Definitely shouldn't side in the 3rd and 4th, that's for sure. Though he does have like a lot of ways to wear me off. But yeah, a bit of a tricky draws, but interesting games. I hope you enjoy that. Don't forget to subscribe us, so check the links in the description below. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks.